All right, it's actually Labor Day, September something, 4th maybe. Let's see what we got. September 6th. The guy that sits in the equipment all day. You know what, Randy? I don't want to hear it. Heading out for a little excavation job this morning. I'm digging a shed pad, 10 by 16, and then backfilling it with stone for the homeowner to get a shed put on. So I got the Switch and Go F550, the Bobcat E35, and the Diamond C tilt deck, and we're heading out right now. Hopefully be done in a couple hours. Get this all wrapped up and out of there. So, all right, well, let's get after it. Up in the machine now. We're going to I got a set grade, got my tripod there, got my stick, and then I got a magnetic mount for the boom here. What I got to do now is dig a sample pad to put my bucket on, and then set my laser up on the stick of the machine. I just gotta get the right elevation, and then we go from there. All right, I got the first load of stone in, spread out pretty, just kind of roughed in there, pretty nice actually. And I got to track down. I got to go get another load, and then we'll go from there. All right, got this all wrapped up here, nice and level. Backing up all the tools. This is the magnetic mount for the laser. Actually, a DeWALT laser. With a nice DeWALT case. But I got a Spectra receiver because I think that one's better. The DeWALT one doesn't really seem to pick anything up. Oh yeah, so we bought this Spectra because I wanted the magnetic mount for on the equipment. Here's the DeWALT that came with it. This is the Spectra. One thing that we found that we liked a lot, we like the DeWALT because they got the cordless battery, like all their equipment, so we can just swap batteries out. And it works on our existing tripod, which was I don't remember what that one was, a GST or something like that. CTS is what we had before, but this DeWALT wouldn't pick up anything outside. It was like the sun would mess with it. I had to go around my eyes and look at the laser to try to figure out what height it was at, because it would never pick it up. Versus this thing picks it up big time. You see the difference between the length? This is the receiver end on the Spectra, and this is the receiver end on the DeWALT. I mean, this is triple the size of this DeWALT. Now, one thing that was nice about it was it goes both ways. You can see it from the back, but that makes no difference because this one picks it up on both front and back, opposed to this one just picks it up on the front. So you can hold it like this or like this, and you'll pick it up both ways. So that's what we got with that. All right, well, today's project, I'm going to be replacing some leaf springs on this flatbed trailer. See, I already got started on this side. Now, a couple of tools you're going to need. I got my impact, a couple different size sockets, and then I got the adjustable socket. Fits everything. I mean, it's a one-size-fits-all. It's great. The torch. Basically, all this hardware is just shot, so I'm just cutting it off, putting new U-bolts on. It's not worth my time trying to clean the threads off and reuse them. Meanwhile, they've already been stretched. So, let me get my light here. I got one spring in place. I just sent somebody to get some new U-bolts because I got the wrong ones. If you ever plan on doing this yourself, when you order U-bolts, they measure them pretty weird. Nothing like I've ever seen before. This is the bottom bracket. The U-bolt goes through it. Nuts on the bottom. When they give you a measurement, instead of being like center to center like you'd think, it's actually inside to inside. So I ordered 3.5 by 8 U-bolts because the overall U-bolt looked like it was about 8 inches long, and center to center is 3.5. Well, they don't fit. I had to bend them in, was the first thing, and then I ran out of thread. Well, when they measure these U-bolts, like I said, they measure center to center on the, or inside edge to inside edge, which is actually 3, not 3.5 in my case, so they're too wide. And then when they measure the length of the U-bolt, they measure from this inside edge down to the end, not for overall length. So when you measure them, you got to be a little bit careful, because when I ran out of thread basically when I went to put it on there. I tried to cut some more thread in there, but it didn't work. It's a whole thing. Just make sure you measure them right. So now I'm getting 3 by 7 U-bolts instead of the other size I have. This 8.5 was 3.5 by 8. So that's what we got here. Now for torching, I like to just wear these regular glasses. I don't like those like bug-eyed looking things. Those are kind of annoying to me. These are actually torching glasses. They're a number 5 on the scale of 1 to 10 in dark tint. A welding helmet being a 10. These are got a green tint to them, so they are for torching. I got them off Amazon. They're like 15 bucks. They're a lot more comfortable to me than wearing some bug-eye looking thing. And then I just replace them every year with a new set. It's just what I like. Another thing before you start torching is you want to do something with your wiring back here. Get those tucked up out of the way so you don't melt those. And then yeah, you just go in. I got the axle supported by a jack. I have the trailer supported by another jack. And then we just go to town. I just cut one. You've got to be careful. Everything's under tension a little bit. Make sure you got stuff supported properly. And that's 2. 2 broke loose. That was actually the fastest one yet. Now it's the backside, you got to worry about the wiring. This has been a much nicer torch job. See, you got the wiring coming out right there. I'm cutting down low on this thing. Can't really see it. Oops. See, I got that cut down low. The wiring comes out of the tube, so I'm trying to stay away from that. That worked out very well. So I'm going to do it again. Alright, well, there's the bracket off the bottom. The axle's still supported. U-bolts are still up there. You probably can't see them because of the shadows. There they are. They're up there. They're probably hot. But now those can come out. I can pound out the nuts on the bench, clean that up. I got this bolt here to take out. The rear is just a slipper, so it just slips right out, which is pretty nice and convenient. And then I go to the other side, and I'm waiting for somebody to pick up the U-bolts. Alright, I got that bolt pulled out. Spring fell. Oh, hang on, it's a little hot there. And then boom, just slips right out. Pop the new spring in. Put the bolt back in the front. Get it lined up. And then just waiting on the U-bolts. Once I get the U-bolts, I got to center the axle over the spring and the bracket and everything. Tighten them up. And torque them to 90 foot-pounds is what I torque mine to. It's based off the size of everything. Is what I use. The size of the bolt and the stretch and all that stuff. There's my new springs. And you see how much difference in arch they have, and they're both sitting right next to each other. Center pins are lined up, even down here. What had happened was, on this side over here, I'm only doing 3 springs because I already did this one. What happened was, Aaron lost a tire. Fell right off the trailer while they were driving down the thruway. Alright, so during that whole incident, the spring got twisted. So I replaced this spring just to be safe. Well, when I replaced one spring, I didn't consider how much effect it would have on the rest of the trailer. Now I'm sitting over, it's sitting in the yard over there, I'm looking at it, it's like crooked. You know, that back corner is low compared to this side, so I'm like, ah, well, we went on there, started looking to see what was going on, and found that that spring, being new, held the weight a lot better than all the other springs. So now here we are changing all the springs. So all the springs will be changed this year within, oh geez, probably 2 months, maybe 3 or September now. So new springs all the way around. This trailer's a 2014. So it's got 6 years under its belt hauling heavy skid steers around, pretty much maxing it out. So always worth throwing some parts at it, I guess. Now the bolts that go in the eyelets here on the U-bolt, on the springs, are special. They're special hardened, special size, and then they got this collar on them. It's like a wheel stud looking thing. It actually gets set in there. I'm thinking it so it doesn't spin inside. So you gotta just replace those too. These ones are actually welded in place from the manufacturer. So I gotta clean all that off. So make sure you get those too. I just replace all the freaking hardware. It's not worth screwing around with. Another thing with these nuts for these bolts, they got like a special groove in them. I think it rips the threads or does something to the threads, bends them over a little bit. I don't know if you can see the little notch out, but it doesn't allow this thing to come back off. That's why another reason I just say torch them off. Actually, in this case, I just heated them up and they drove back out with a gun. But